Once I have prepared my file by going to a DXF file in my Inkscape, converting it to an NGC file in my sheet cam and making sure all my cuts are right and selecting my tools, now I'm ready to go into the plasma cutter itself. Now as I'm going to double click this and it comes on, you should be able to hear a click from the machine telling me that we have activated it. Now it's not very loud, you just barely heard it, but it was distinct. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to open my file. I'm going to go to the location where it is. I happen to have it in my cut projects, and it's called Testing Square NGC. We just created it. Open. There it is as I've placed it on the table. Now, I currently have my machine at its home X and home Y, but I'm going to click on these anyway. I have to hit the X active, I hit home X and home Y, and you can see it changed very slightly there. But now, as I move my machine by using the arrow over and the arrow up, I already indicated this, you see, if I want it to go away from me, I hit the arrow up. If I want to go to the right, I arrow over. Now that's all I'm doing there. I want you to watch it on the machine. Arrow to the right, arrow up. Now if I want it to go faster, I hit the shift key and arrow to the right, much faster. Shift key, arrow up, shift key, page down. Now by doing all of that, it's much faster, but it allows me to locate it somewhere on my page much faster. When you get close, you can use your jog speed. Returning back to my computer now, I'm going to look at it. If I zero my X, I've already homed my X, that puts it on the proper spot on the sheet. But if I zero my X and zero my Y, you'll see these notes change, but now it puts my crosshairs and says, oh, now I can trace the object. So if I go up and I look at my piece on the actual piece, I can determine by following that around if it will fit, and it looks like it will. As I go back and forth and down and follow my blue line around, that is just barely going to fit on that piece. I am now ready to cut. So now I have to zero my Z, and that's a little bit more tricky. You're going to put your page down until it barely makes contact. Then you're going to pull it back up until it's about a nickel's thickness away. Then you hit 0Z on your face of your computer. Once I'm ready to do that, now all I have to do is hit the run button. It's going to go into pause mode, and it has generated now, when I loaded the file system, the G codes to run that cut. If I hit resume right now, it would start to cut. It would select the first place I go to make my cut, make the inside cut, then it will come to the outside and cut it on the outside, assuming that everything else is right. Now I'm going to slow down my feed rate just a little bit, and my jog speed. And what the jog speed does is cuts the inside hole a little slower, and the feed rate cuts the outside a little slower. I can always speed it up while I'm in operation, but I can't slow it down. I mean, I can, but usually by the time it blows out, it's too late. So I'm now going to hit resume. It will begin its cut, but I want you to actually see it, how it cuts on the plasma table. Now, a couple of things happened while I was cutting that you may have noticed. Let's get the air to stop. First thing you noticed, it started to cut the hole very slowly. I increased my jog speed on my computer in the middle of that cut. Second thing, it started cutting the outside too slowly. I increased my feed override and sped it up. Now, assuming that that's cold enough, and it usually is, that's part of the purpose of the air. You're going to notice then what a nice job that did of cutting it on the front side, but I got a little bit of slag on the back, and the slag is a result of going too slow. If you'll speed it up, you won't get near so much slag. It isn't a big deal, it'll buff right off, but I now know that that is about what I want to cut with my 1/4 inch steel. I'm ready to now actually bring a real project in and cut.